Hello, welcome back to another episode of Mid-Roll Guys podcast. My name is Shafiq and I'm with my friend Lim Guowei.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Today we're just gonna answer some simple question in anime and manga culture. We all like anime. Anime and manga are awesome. So, the first question, Lim Guowei, do you prefer sub or dub? Which is better?
Okay, so for those who are unaware of what subs and dubs are, sub is short for subtitles, and dub is just dubbing. So subtitles, the row of text that appears at the top or the bottom of the screen when you watch a show, which is usually for translation. The majority of the subbing in the anime industry is English subtitles for Japanese audio. Dubbing, on the other hand, is just a re-recording in a different language for the show altogether. In my opinion, I feel that subs are the better way to go most of the time. So, one important thing about the show is pacing. And in dubs, sometimes it can ruin the pacing because English and Japanese direct translation is not one-to-one. Sometimes it can shorten the sentence, it can lengthen the sentence. So it is rather tricky to time the English translation to fit exactly with the speech duration. And you will get some weird things like the mouth is not moving when there is voice coming out of the character and stuff like that. And while we are talking about translation, I feel that most dubs, they further filter the content that goes through since it's catered to a Western audience and they rewrite it such. One funny example that I can remember is from Pokemon, where the character Brock, he holds up onigiri, the triangle rice dish that they usually buy. And he says, "These donuts are great. Jelly-filled are my favorite." It's very popular on YouTube as a meme because everybody is looking at him holding up rice dish and talking about jelly-filled donuts. While it is obvious that the change was made to cater to the Western audience, I personally feel that it is better to leave it as it is a good opportunity to introduce a hint of the Japanese culture to its viewers.
Yeah, I agree with this. I personally like the language used in originated the creator's original intention when it should be Japanese, so it should be in Japanese. When you watch a English drama or English movie, it should be English, not other than the original language.
Yes, I agree also. But however, I would just like to say first, my opinion of subs being better than dubs is not a blanket statement. There are some examples of shows where I do actually prefer the dub compared to the original Japanese audio. One example is Dragon Ball, the popular anime about the adventures of Son Goku. I think it needs no further introduction. The voice actor of Son Goku is actually voiced by a 83-year-old Japanese woman called Masako Nozawa. For the new viewer, it might actually seem odd because even though many male protagonists are voiced by females, Masako's voice is high-pitched and sort of like... So, while Masako's voice
I
acting is
understand.
actually great, I much prefer the English dub Goku voiced by Sean Shamel. Oh, his voice, very powerful. You can see it in his recording studio. He screams until his face turns red, and it actually suits Goku much more, in my opinion.
Yeah. I remember because I haven't watched Dragon Ball for a long time. For the first time, I rewatched it actually in Japanese. Then I was like hearing the Goku's voice. I was like, who is this voice actor? I think it's some kinds of old woman or something. And I was right. She's an old woman. Um, but it's very subjective. But I think it's good. But it's not that terrible. Some might like prefer
Yeah.
English and everything like you, right? I've seen a lot in forum also discussion they say English Goku is better than the Japanese Goku.
Yeah, I personally feel it's a 50-50 split, so it's just my personal opinion. And sometimes it might also be more accurate to have English dubbing as the character voice themselves originate for an English-speaking country. This is very prevalent in JoJo because the show itself goes around the world. So you have Englishmen like young Joseph, you have American voice like O. Joseph or his mother. We have German voices from von Stroheim, Italian voices from most of Part 5 and Caesar from Part 2. So in a way, you can't really get that sort of difference in English accent from Japanese voice actors.
Yeah, yeah.
So at times like this, yeah, it's better to have English voice. It feels more how to say more original to the source material, even though it's written in Japanese.
But you know that they usually like putting a Japanese voice acting on English. I don't understand that, man. That I don't think
Yeah,
they have idea of something like that.
it's quite a common joke on YouTube. We call it the English moment.
Yeah, man. All right. So we're finished with the first question, Andio. Let's go for the second question. This is quite hot. Some people like anime, some people like manga, but both are technically will have the same story most of the time, but sometimes the publisher changes the story. But which one do you prefer? Is it manga or anime?
Oh, this question is actually quite tough because while in the first question, I do have a stronger opinion of subs to dubs. This one, I really can't prefer another one. The answer is completely subjective to the individual and maybe to the actual show that we are talking about, the series we are talking about. All I can do is list the pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, anime occasionally leaves part of the manga out. This is very common because we have to fit into a 12 episode half season, 25 episode season. Uh, so it may leave some unanswered questions by the anime watchers who would ask these questions on the forums only to receive a reply that goes along the lines of read the manga, read the
Oh
manga.
yeah, yeah.
This could be seen as a con for some. However, this depends more on the adaptation quality of the animation studio. Sometimes it is done really badly, but sometimes the anime just serves to match the source material and might even improve of it. So, an example of improving on source material is fight scenes. Okay? So, anime, because it is animated in nature, it portrays fight scenes a lot better than the manga. A more subjective opinion, but some people feel that animation can portray fight scenes like, for example, One Punch Man, it's always very nice to look at the fight scenes, especially those animated in season 1 by Madhouse. Okay? This allows for animators to create an expertly choreographed back and forth fight. Like sometimes you see in Naruto, they have like very intricate fist to fist fights. Okay? Personally, I agree with this one. Fight scene from shows like Dragon Ball and One Punch Man bear just more weight in the anime. It just feels better.
But it all depends on the animator actually. But I have to add that's not usually the case. Have you seen the Nanatsu no Taizai season 3? For me,
Nanatsu no Taizai.
yeah, for me it's unwatchable. Literally slideshow. You go for any presentation, you can just imagine Nanatsu no Taizai. You know that flagrant order for Ultimo Popepada, something like the ultimate strike has the more animation the whole Nanatsu Taizai series. I'm not kidding, man. Season 1 and Season 2 of Nanatsu no Taizai were blast, very good, but not Season 3. Season 3 like really disappointed a lot of fans.
Yeah, I have to agree with the Fate series having very high animation. It's kind of been a talking point between me and a lot of people. And I remember somewhere they said something about how they spend 250,000 US dollars per episode just for the animation. It's really amazing. And as for the Nanatsu no Taizai season 3, it also sort of reminds me of the difference between One Punch Man season 1 and season 2 because they were both done by different animation studios. So the season 1, everybody says season 1 is better and season 2 is just a carbon copy. So yeah, I can agree that this is a subjective case.
Yeah.
Manga and anime sometimes might also have different stories. I remember you pointed this out when you were asking me the question, so I would just like to give an example. in Dragon Ball Super, the manga and anime department actually run simultaneously and independently of each other. So the creator of the series is Akira Toriyama. He didn't write the whole story. He just gave a general guideline. Okay, we'll do this first, and then they'll end up with the tournament, and then the prison arc and all stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I've watched
But
that.
besides that, it's just the animators and the manga writers who plan out the story. So they actually do go their separate ways. You like this creates an interesting difference between the two. It's almost as if they are the same stories in two separate timelines. For those who have watched the anime or read the manga, I actually very highly recommend you read or you just consume the other product too. It sort of shows like a dynamic between the two.
So let's go. One last question in Huawei. Um,
Sure.
do you have any anime recommendation that you have watched during your whole life that you really like? You know, just watch this. This is good. It's damn good.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so this might be a meme in the anime community because it's very popular. Everybody does it, but I still have to recommend JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I feel like the running joke that if you ask someone what anime to watch, they will recommend JoJo. I honestly feel it is justified because I have recommended this show to a lot of my friends, more than 10 of them, and every single one, 100% say that they love the show. They think it's interesting. They finally understand the memes. They just love it in general. Great story, great fight scenes, great memes, and the
Yeah.
manga has been running since 1980. And for and
Oh.
for justified reason, it still has a strong fan base.
All right. So, but for me,
Um,
I'm not into that kind of, you know, JoJo is good, but it's for me it's too heavy of kind of meme. There's a lot of things that's going on in one episode. I just like it's too overwhelmed. So usually I just like Konosuba is very chill anime. It's not that heavy. You know, Konosuba is top notch for me. It's fun, has the MMORPG elements. The plot is not that humongous, like you know, fighting something like that, but it's quite good. There's a story to make it. Um, I really recommend it to go watch it, and you know, they even release a movie. It's really fun. It's gonna be a fun ride. All right,
yeah,
so we're just going to end our podcast here. Signing out, me
alright.
and Guowei. Peace out.
Alright. Thank you for listening.